of news is starting to come out because it's going to be about within this next week or so that things are going to start getting crazy for free agency. We already have trades. Deebo Samuel getting traded to the Commanders for a 5th round pick. And some people were like, why only a 5th round pick? They didn't watch Deebo Samuel play last year. And he was not very good. And the amount of money that was also attached to his contract, it was going to be interesting or difficult to move him because I think they were just going to cut him if they didn't trade him. So I think a 5th, the Commanders, you take a shot on him, right? It's a 5th round pick. You see if you can kind of rekindle that 2021 season magic and take it from there. But yeah, then there's also rumors about Ayuk being shopped as well. So who the hell knows what the San Francisco 49ers are going to do? We talked about them being one of the more interesting teams heading into the offseason, like what they're going to do with Purdy. They have some aging veterans and Deebo, first one on the move.
They, we got that. Slay was released. Maybe Adams gets released. Stafford went back to LA, which of course happened right after
we were done.
Our shit last week. We'll get through all of this. There's a lot that did start to happen today. I just did a whole video on Deebo going to the Commanders, and I think he's going to play better in Washington than people are giving him credit for. Last season wasn't great, but he still would have been the 3rd leading receiver on the Commanders, even with his production last year. And Washington, they need a number 2 guy. So getting Deebo for a 5th, that's an easy move for a team that gets him for a year. And then if he's good, they can give him a new contract if they want, or they can move on from him. Yeah. Kind of the same situation we saw with Diggs going to Houston. And I think like it was John Lynch who basically said, the 49ers are trying to, he didn't say we're not fully like resetting, but they're trying to get younger. Yeah. So, and Deebo's only 29. It's so funny. But like 29 for a receiver who didn't perform last year, his value dropped significantly. Even if it's a guy like Deebo who had one really phenomenal season, very good seasons, after that, but never that 2021 season. Same with Cooper Kupp. But I like the move for Washington. I think when you have a quarterback as dynamic as Jaden Daniels, you have your guy in Terry McLaurin out there. You've got they still need to figure out what they're going to do with De'Ami Brown, whether he's going to come back or not. But Deebo's, still a versatile player, and I think as long as he can, lose a little weight, get a little bit of that speed back, I think it'll be all right. I think it's just an upside move for the Commanders.
Again, the money is the only concerning part, but in terms of draft capital, like maybe he can. You're just hoping that you can get back to what he was and what his production was, because if he can, even if he gets like 3/4 of what he did a few seasons ago in 21, like that's going to be insane. The question always is, especially as you get closer to death, otherwise known as 30, things don't know if you could turn back the clock. So
yeah, he just got to get back to like 2023 production where he had like 900 receiving yards, 7 touchdowns, another 200 or 300 rushing, and I think 4 or 5 touchdowns.
Just make him a running back. He really likes that. But yeah,
the way he's built, he looks like a running back.
Deebo, like again, it wasn't huge news because I feel like when it happened, 49ers fans were like, okay, yeah, I was hoping we could get a little bit more value, but I didn't know how much we were going to get with his production. And then for the Commanders, it's like you said, it's upside. I'm just hoping that you can, work him into the offense and he can be a productive member of the team. But if you have another weapon for Jaden Daniels and he winds up working out, cool. If he doesn't, 5th round pick is nothing. The money sucks, but ultimately I think, you got to make some moves here.
That's the weirdest thing about this for the 49ers is they still eat a bunch of dead cap, even with him going over there. Do. And I think unless something like weird happens, they're going to lose $15 million in cap space this season because of that. So moving on from him to make room for Brock Purdy in like a contract, that's incorrect because they're actually going to have less cap space with the dead cap hit or whatever. It was on the spot track. I was like, doesn't make a ton of sense other than, the Niners weren't going to bring him back. So they'll take the 5th rounder, and they appear to be a team that is going to be invested, I think, in trying to build for the future through the draft.
Yes.
And plus, they didn't have Ayuk last year. We don't know what they're going to do with them. Ricky Pearsall didn't play for a lot of the season because he got shot. Like, Pearsall's kind of the guy that's probably going to replace the production that they have for Deebo anyway.
And Ayuk is coming back from injury, right? Because
Yeah.
like that, there was high hopes for him.
Exactly.
So, well, I mean, again, the 49ers, they got to figure out their quarterback situation too. Like, what is a Brock Purdy contract going to look like? So it's going to be tough to kind of evaluate San Francisco until we see what the hell their team looks like, in about a month or so.
I just wonder how much Purdy's going to get paid. But
that's the one. That's the one. I'm just saying.